presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. John, what's going on, brother?
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Good. I want to tell you, I've been listening to you since your radio days back in '99. Appreciate what you guys do. But what I really enjoy that you brought back Tim Ord. This guy is as smart as a whip.
I am so happy for that feedback.
Yeah, because he's one of a kind. He's got to be the number one market timer. I'm telling you, it's like he calls it really, really good.
He does. I really appreciate the feedback, man.
Yes.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. You kick things off on Monday, and we got markets relentlessly positive right now. You're charging higher with the S&Ps. We're approaching session highs yet again, up by 0.8%, up 48 points at 6,065. And as I talked about at that 3 o'clock update, boy, we might get quite the bullish engulfing here. But jumping through the indices, we charge lower, we charge higher, we bounce, and it seems like Iran has responded. And yeah, you jump over to some of the headlines, okay, and you're going to see whether it was symbolic, no casualties, Qatar shot the missiles out of the sky, and it seemed like Iran had to respond in some way to save a little face. And if that's what happens, and that's it, maybe there's an opportunity for tensions to ease a bit. We will see, right? But nonetheless, the market likes it, and they trade higher. The one thing I will say is it's dropping off on the volume. Since we had that acceleration. You had the real acceleration at 12:30. You had missiles flying. Iran striking the base in Qatar. The reports start to break that everything's okay. And then here we are, an hour and a half later, chopping around within 10 points of where we were. Markets in positive. NASDAQ 100 up by 0.9%, up 203 points right now. Coming right into near the highs of Friday morning as well on the NASDAQ 100. Dow up by 0.7% right now. The Russell up by 16 points or 0.8%. So, quite the reaction on crude. And boy, not sure I've seen a bar like that in a while. And you're going to have some volume, man. You're going to do it. You're going to have a bearish engulfing. You're going to take out everything we've done for the last 10 days. You're going back to June 13th. So it's all of last week and this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, excuse me, a week ago Friday. Yeah, a week ago Friday. 10 days ago. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, closed for Thursday and Friday. And you're going to take it all out, and you're going to do it with dramatic volume to the downside. Hey, that's what the charts are saying, man. You jump to the S&Ps, and not quite the same degree in terms of the bullish engulfing, but you still, if we could ever get above, and it's not that far, you're only talking about an S&P right now that has a high of about 35 points higher, and you could take out everything with a nice bullish engulfing. And right now we've got about 1.1 million contracts on the S&P, and the NASDAQ has a big number of almost 500,000 contracts. Friday was a big time to the downside, but you're going to take it all out. That's all what the course is right now, at least. We'll see how the day proceeds. And yeah, as well, what's going on is you have everything shutting down. So you have the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, and Kuwait close their airspace all at once, even temporarily. Pretty unprecedented, but that's what's going on as missiles fly. And you'll see a steady stream of news coming today, man. It's not going to stop anytime soon. But nonetheless, tensions ratchet up, and the market says that's all right. We're pushing past the uncertainty. Now, airlines, different deal, of course. Airlines diverting from that region. Okay, we jump around to some of the airlines, of course. But they're shaking it off, man. Look at nothing exposure. This is remarkable. We got quite a market going on right now. American, United, Delta, all trading higher right now. Even JetBlue is participating on a day like today, up by 2.9% right now. All right, we jump over to Tesla shares. Quite an extension on Tesla. You're up by 8.6%. Self-driving Teslas, they're coming. And boy, look at that volume on a daily basis, man. Look at that volume. We've already done 163 million shares. You're probably going to do more volume than we've done outside of that June 5th acceleration when he picked a fight with the president. Amazing you're going to get it back, right? Look at that thing. All right, let's go back. Oof. Look at that buy. Look at that buy. Amazing. In real time, the de-escalation, and just like that, we're bouncing higher. Tesla shares up by 8.6%. They'll be in focus, up by $27 to 350. NVIDIA shares, a little volatility on the news as well. NVIDIA barely in the positive. We jump around to some of the other. Amazon shares down by 0.2%. Apple shares up by 0.2% right now. Microsoft, ooh, look at Microsoft, baby, up by 1.7%. Jump over to some of the uranium. Constellation, so they're going to be doing a deal with New York. CEG up by 3.3%. Just looking at Cameco up another 2% today as well. And yeah, if you didn't check this story out, it's coming. Is that the one? There it is. New York's going to build one of the first nuclear power plants in a generation. And yeah, what's always interesting here is where they're going to put it. Everybody, and I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people are okay with nuclear energy. Where are you going to put it? And what I found so intriguing about this is that they're going to figure out where they're going to put it, and they're going to put it somewhere upstate New York, and they'll figure out where. That's the toughest part about this. But we'll see. As they try and shorten the regulation period, we try and push nuclear forward. At least, she directed the state's public electric utility to add at least 1 gigawatt of new nuclear power generation, and that would be enough to power 1 million homes. And yeah, hims and hers and Novo Nordisk. So, strong words from Novo Nordisk, and yeah, down 32%. How about that one? You talk about some risks, man. So hims and hers is responding, okay? We refuse to be strong-armed, all right? But they accuse them of using manipulative marketing practices, okay? It's no longer going to work with them. And it's only been since April that this has been going on, which is so amazing that you have that type of collapse in that short a period of time. Yeah, just in April, they started doing that. Concerns about what it said was illegal mass compounding and deceptive marketing by the telehealth company. I tell you, I see those ads everywhere on Instagram and all this stuff. And I do always kind of ask myself, man, how does this make sense that they're just jamming this down everybody's throat? There you were in April. They probably made the deal April 29th just because of the price action. You can trade right back down there. Be careful on this one, man. Hims, you talk about volatility. You talk about a double top. Trading down by 32%. All right, folks, stay tuned. I'm coming back with our man Steve Rhodes. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's up by 44, NASDAQ 100 up by 181. And right now, folks, we're going to jump over to our man, Steve Rhodes. Folks, you can check out Steve Rhodes every day. He's live at 11 o'clock with the Trader's Edge. You can check out his outstanding newsletter, folks, Mastering Probability, right on the front page of TFNN. Head on over to the Newsletters tab. And, folks, everything we do at TFNN has a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're out there listening right now, okay, sign up for the newsletter. You get it for 30 days. Worst case, doesn't suit you for whatever reason. You cancel, you pay nothing. Can't beat it. Steve Rhodes, good afternoon.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. How are you?
Good. It's a good thing that, we live in a pretty boring time, don't we? Not much going on these days.
Is there enough headlines out there? Pick your time. I mean, who's sleeping out there, Steve? Are you sleeping? We can't be sleeping, man. I know, pretty wild, man.
Not much. That's why we yawn a lot. But
seriously,
I picked up the game of chess at a pretty early age. My grandfather taught me the game, and I really enjoy playing. I haven't played much in the last several years or what have you, but I do enjoy picking it up. But what's going on in the markets? It just reminds me of a geopolitical chess game that's going on. The question is, what's the next move out there? Well, I guess we got that next move, right? We saw a next move at about, around 1 o'clock today, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Within the last couple hours, Iran moved, kind of, I guess what we would have to term as a pawn, which is the least powerful chess piece, in response to the U.S. dropping those 14 massive ordnance penetrator missile guided bombs out there. Pretty amazing. So, in that chess game, we just saw the next move that was out there, and in that next move, and you really touched on it. What we really saw the results or the outcome was a significant and quick move lower inside of light sweet crude. So began moving lower as Iran's retaliatory action took place. It was well broadcast, right? We all knew it. We came on the air. At first, you got the message across, or at least I got a message across my phone that Qatar had shut down airspace.
Yeah.
So that seemed like to be an indication, right, that there's communication going on, and so now we know why they did that, and others did as well. And so, to me, the interpretation with regard to the way the market is trading, I didn't hear your entire show. My apology if you already have also said this, but it does appear to me when we take a look at how light sweet crude is trading that the escalation between Iran and the U.S. is likely on pause, at least for the moment. So that's what this the 60-minute time frame chart that we're looking at for light sweet crude. If we go to the bigger picture, though, daily crude oil already had a TD9 count top. You mentioned today is going to be a pretty gigantic bearish engulfing candle. which it is, and that's just simply going to confirm, from a pattern standpoint, because that's really what I'm doing here, is really just take a look at different patterns that repeat in the marketplace all the time. The bearish engulfing confirms a sell the D point top. Not that we needed two tops out there, and as long as price doesn't close above 74.63, you got that. That's the TD9 count topping a level out there. Now, if we start, so what our real focus now is going to be on support. And where is support? And so if we take a look at how crude oil, if we take a look at the daily time frame chart, the weekly time frame chart, we'll see that prices pulled really back to, now this was a snapshot from probably about 40 minutes ago, so it's likely changed a bit, but prices pulling back into a support area. Which would be the top of the weekly profile, the top of the daily profile. The real key area, in my opinion, to be watching is going to be 67.36. And the reason is this. If we look at this daily time frame chart out here, those little dashed lines, those are our TAS market profiles. The top is where sellers are at. The bottom is where buyers are at. The center is where both buyers and sellers believe there's fair value within inside that range out there. What I've learned over the years in using these profiles is that they can also help us to understand when it's just a counter trend move in either direction. In this case here, we're taking a look at a counter trend move to the downside. And the price, and so where price should find support would be between 67.36 and 68.72. If price glows below 67.36, it tells us that it's more than just a counter trend move to the downside. Any questions about that? Because sometimes when I try to explain it, maybe it confuses people. If I've confused you, then I've probably confused everybody else out there.
It's great. I was going to say, I just love how exact you make it with those exact price points, of course, where you're really looking for inflection points. Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah, and so these profiles have such amazing uses for us. So, I want people to watch at 67.36. What happens if price moves below 67.36? Well, then we have to start going over to the weekly time frame chart. That's in lieu of other profiles that might form on the daily basis. So, you and I, we utilize the information as presented to us. At this point in time, if we close below 67.36, then we're looking at 64-ish area. That's coming from the weekly time frame chart, and that's what I refer to as the oscillator and change line. I teach subscribers how to use that. It's a really important tool. Below that, then we'd be looking at the weekly profile levels at 60.65 and 50.79. In fact, that's really the buy zone out here. So unlike the daily time frame chart that had a sell zone, the weekly time frame chart has a buy zone, and that's likely where we would find a decent bottom if, in fact, first price has got to break through the daily support levels out there. So just giving people kind of one step at a time out there. If, in fact, the escalation piece of the Iran, Israel, U.S. is coming to a bit of an end for a short period of time, what have you, I'd expect that we'd see light sweet crude continue to move forward. This chart here shows us how crude oil is trading in all the major currencies. So that means the euro, the yen, the pound, the loonie, the Swiss krona, the francs, Swiss francs, Chinese yuan, and the Russian rubles out here. We can see that light sweet crude moving lower in all those currencies, so that's important to take a look at. If we take a look at monthly crude oil, so I shared this chart with subscribers last night. So I sent out, knowing that we had all the activity over the weekend, I knew that people were trying to understand, hey, what's going on? So I waited for futures to open up so we could take a look at oil, gold, the equity futures, just to get a feel for what was being communicated to us even last night at 6:30. And here, if you take a look at at least the yellow descending trend lines out there, how that just simply held as resistance all through the night, all through the morning out there. So we also have out here, we've got horizontal trading ranges. Those are the red lines. This is a monthly time frame chart that we're looking at. And then we've got a rising and falling descending price channel. So support should be in the $60 area on a further pullback. And that's really getting to the bottom of this green rising price channel. So it's 60-ish type area out there that I would expect that we would see crude perhaps get back to. That's using that set of tools. If we move on to gold here, gold really hasn't moved much, right? So I think what this is telling us is really this is maybe just a short-term cooling off period. I got a request from a few folks that said, hey, how do you short gold? And not that I don't think gold can't pull back here, but I'd say that's the most dangerous vehicle to start shorting, because I don't know that you can necessarily draw the conclusion that even though what activity took place in the last couple hours, like that's the end of it. Do you think that's the end of it?
Is it? I thought the market does, Steve. The market thinks that's the end of it. I think it's over. No, I kid. I know, right? It's amazing. I know, but I agree with you. It's great takes, man. Because at least I think it's a moment that you have a moment that we can get a great pause, maybe, and even that right now I think is pretty awesome. And hopefully it holds. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what folks should really watch for, the support level on gold is going to be 33.29. Look, I still have topping patterns. I have had topping patterns on gold for its daily, weekly, and monthly time frame, for a couple of months now. But we haven't exactly seen gold move to the downside. So that tells us just how strong it is. And not that I don't believe that gold can't pull back for 2 weeks. That would be normal. But I just don't think that it's a substantial move lower that you put that risk to the downside. But that's my take and interpretation of the charts.
And chess, great game. I played a lot of chess when I was growing up as well, man. We'll have to hook up. We'll play some chess, man. Chess is a great game.
That sounds great. That
awesome.
Sounds great.
Steve, thanks so much, Tommy. Man. Great information. I appreciate it as always. Have a great one. We look forward to the show tomorrow.
Okay, take care.
Thanks, man. Folks, check out Mastering Probability. Get that free trial. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs? Trade wars? Analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, it was great that I just heard that commercial because I was going to say it anyway. Great segment with Steve Rhodes, as always, folks. And yeah, when you check out his newsletter, okay, it said comes with one of the things Steve was talking about there, okay, was the oscillator unchanged line. He's got an outstanding webinar. You get that included in his newsletter, Mastering Probability. Okay, you get a ton of webinars in here. The Ultimate Reversal Pattern, okay, the TD9 setup. There's just so many in there, folks. So sign up. The way to do it is you sign up, you watch all the webinars, you make sure, and if it's not for you, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I encourage you to do it because I think if you check it all out, you're going to see there's tremendous value, and you end up keeping it anyway. And if you don't, it works anyway, man. Check it out, and some awesome webinars from Steve. All right, let's talk a little bit of yield. So, Fed governors. This is the second one coming out saying, hey, next month, you have Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Baumann saying, hey, she would favor interest rate cuts in July so long as inflation pressures stay muted. Wow, geez, that means unless there's basically a surprise, she's on board as well. You had Christopher Waller. He was saying the same thing on Friday. So we got Friday, we got Monday, you had the Fed last week, the quiet period's over, and it seems like you're getting a little consensus here that we're going lower yield. So, yeah, markets reacting, of course. And you get the 10-year approaching that 4.3% mark. What I will say, though, is that technically you're bumping up against an area that's given the 10-year some problems previously, as in dropping below the 4.3% mark. We've done it a couple times. You did it in May, did it in April. Then things were getting a little bit haywire at that time with tariffs, but nonetheless, you got yields dropping. You got higher price, lower yield. And yeah, that's putting some weakness in the dollar. And the real question is going to be, okay, is this already factored into the dollar? As in, once they cut, the dollar's weak? Or is this what's going to push? And if you push it to 90, man, you better watch out on that gold contract. Because, yeah, I think we could see a higher high, okay? But it doesn't mean we're going to crush 4,000, even as Steve was saying it, right? It's like, I wouldn't be shorting it either right now. I wouldn't. I don't think that gold's going to fly up to 4,000 right now. I get the questions about wanting to short it. I get it. But I would not be shorting it right now. Not in this market. All right, let's check out the S&Ps as we charge higher. We're making session highs right now. Look at this thing. What do we got to get above to close? The body. The body there opens at 6,093. Man, we're 25 S&P points. You got the body on this one is 6,000. Is that right? 6,093. Excuse me, the close. 6,091. Yeah, 6,093 and 6,091 to get above the bodies. Oof. This is going to be wild if we just take out everything. And then we're only going to be about 1% from the all-time highs at that level. All right. All right, let's see what else we have. So you talk a little Fed speak. And, this is a glimpse, though, of the things you got to keep. And that was a great conversation with Steve, man. And that's, the chess equation, folks. Okay. It's not a game, but it is a game. That's the game theory is one of the most fascinating things that you can ever get into. Okay. And in poker, I played a tremendous amount of poker, and you play what's called game theory optimized, GTO. Okay. And basically what it is you play in the most solved manner that you are unexploitable by playing it. But it's literally called a game, and it can be applied to many things. And what's difficult here is you have moves, you have counters, right? And we saw one today. Well, this is how things really get awry. And you have Medvedev, who's, speaking of pawns, he's Putin's pawn, right? Even when he's the president, he was just Putin's lackey, okay? Claiming that multiple countries are ready to just give Iran a nuke. You think things, yeah, and rightfully so. Trump should slam that. That is how things, but this is one of the risks that goes on. And, it's one of the things to keep in mind as the market plows higher, because there are risks out there. But what was important about today, okay, was that there had to be a strike back for Iran to save face for the 92 million people that exist. And if, folks, you haven't got a chance to watch, I've never told somebody to watch a Tucker Carlson interview before, but you got to watch Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson. Because, man, Ted Cruz sounds like he doesn't know much at all for a man that has tremendous power when you talk about what he's saying. And that's aside from the conversation of the underlyings. 92 million people. I was well aware that Iran had near 100 million people. Well aware, because it's an astounding fact. Okay? And for somebody like Ted Cruz to be in Congress for so long and have very little answers on those, when just being around the geopolitical environment of Iran that's been there forever, they have more people than any individual country in the EU. So, to get back to it, they had to save face. They had to do something for the 92 million people in the country, and that's what they just did. Okay, so they fired enough missiles, one versus, they have something to say that they did tit for tat. Maybe there's an opportunity at this point, and that's what the hope is in the market. And we'll see, though, because then you get comments like that from a former president of Russia. But boy, I haven't seen bullish engulfings like this in a while. We have the S&P's up 51 points right now. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of space. I talked about this one this morning, but if you didn't hear it this morning, just one thing. These $100 million pay packages, just a quick one. I laid it out in long form this morning. Meta, at a $1.7 trillion company, giving $100 million pay packages is akin to a company worth $1.7 million. If you had a company, a private company, a small business, that company was worth $1.7 million, it would be like you giving out $100 bonuses to people for them to further your company. It's amazing what's at stake with these multi-trillion-dollar companies, and it's very difficult for the human mind, to even understand the difference between million, billion, and trillion because of the exponential function. All right. The 6 miles of water keeping the global markets on edge. Strait of Hormuz, 6 miles, right? And it's 20 miles wide is what it is. Roughly 20% of the world's petroleum passes through that strait. Absolutely remarkable that you're in the 60s. But hey, that's what the charts say right now. And boy, that bearish engulfing, man. I haven't seen a one like that in a while. But nonetheless, you can't deny what's happening right now. And realistically, there's been no infrastructure problems. All right, folks, S&P's up by 49. We got 20 minutes left to go in trading. Stay tuned. Coming right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's just hanging out right where we've been from that acceleration in terms of we got there at about 130, and then we got a 10-point range. We're bumping up against that range, though, right now, trading at 6,067. And, yeah, the context, right? This is why growth, when you talk about AI and the acceleration that you can get from AI, exponential is very difficult for the human mind to understand. I heard this one, it not blew me away, so how many days is a million seconds? Give that a thought for a second, right? You got a million seconds. Okay, how many days is that? It's like 11 days. Okay, a million seconds is 11 days. You just count, you can get there. Okay. How many days is a billion seconds? I give you a hint. It's years. It's 31 years. Okay, so a million seconds is 11 days. A billion seconds is 31.7 years. And a trillion is 31,007. You just add 3 extra zeros to the years, right? If a billion years is 30, if a billion seconds is 31 years, then a trillion seconds is just going to be 31 with 3 extra zeros, which is 31,710 years. So a million, 100 million, when you're dealing with billions and trillions, those numbers are going to start getting thrown around more with these types of stakes that they're playing. They're playing some high stakes. Talk about high stakes. All right, we check back in on poker. I'm a huge poker fan, man, and I love the World Series of Poker. And folks, if you like poker, okay, it's a bummer. They used to have all the poker in the days, in terms of all the live poker. Poker Go has live poker. One of the best times to do is around the World Series. You can watch all these events. They air a live event usually. It's Poker Go. They even do it on YouTube. You have to pay for it on Poker Go. But I was sitting here watching last night the $50,000 pot limit Omaha high roller. Okay, you talk about it, man. Now, if you've never played Pot Limit Omaha, okay, Omaha, folks, is the same thing as No Limit Hold'em, except you're given 4 cards to start. This is, you see the gentleman with his 4 cards. You're given 4 cards to start, and then they deal it out just like they do Hold'em. They put 3 on the flop, 1 on the turn, 1 on the river. And you have to use 2 from your hand. You can't use 1, as sometimes is the case in Hold'em, right? You can use a single card if you want to make a flush sometimes in Hold'em. You use 4 spades on the board. Can't do that in Hold'em, in Omaha. You got to use 2 from your hand and 3 from the board. But when you have 4 in your hand, the hands, most of the time, people have much stronger hands, of course. 197 people play this tournament. 2.1 million for the winners. Great. It was great. I mean, you want to talk about the best reality television out there, man. Have some guys out there playing for 2.1 million up top, and what's amazing is it's a very top heavy payout structure in tournaments, okay? You got a tournament here that was 197 people. They're putting up 50 grand. Most of the time you pay down about 10 or 15% of the field. So you're going to lose that 50 grand right away, 8 or 9 times out of 10. Boom, it's gone. That's happening, okay? So you make it to the final table, you finish in 8th place, and all you do is you get 4 times back your money. But you know why? Because they got to save all the cash for up top. You really want to finish in the top 2 or 3 people in the tournament. Really, you want to win it. And when you're talking the World Series of Poker, you get a bracelet on top. This guy's won 3 of them. If you're playing a $50,000 pot limit Omaha tournament, maybe you've won a slightly lower stakes tournament is usually how you endeavor into a $50,000. But nonetheless, World Series is still going on. And yeah, $50,000. And you can see what they have. They got a $1,500 millionaire maker going on right now. They got a $3,000 9-game. You play 9 games? You know what else they have out here, folks? Which is that the Battle of the Ages? No, they have a seniors tournament that's going on. So seniors in poker, I say you only got to be 50. I can say that now because I'm 45. I'm going to be on the seniors poker. But 50 years old, but nonetheless, they're playing poker, and that's not the main event. The main event that gets all the notoriety is coming up around July 4th, and that's $10,000. They get about 7,000 to 8,000 people. That creates a prize pool between $70 and $80 million overall, and the winner usually walks with $8 million, $9 million, $10 million, something like that, and that's the one that is the main event champion. But you can see that there's so much poker that doesn't even get covered ahead of that. And I'm digressing, all right? But we've gone over the market. This is interesting stuff. We're all in finance. There's so much high-level poker that doesn't get covered outside the main event. The main event used to be what these types of tournaments, these $50,000, $100,000, 197 people come play, the best 197 pot limit Omaha players in the world, put 50 grand on the table, and you don't need a lottery-style amount of luck, which you do need now in the main event. But guess what? There's still a tremendous amount of skill. Okay, the main event, the way to look at poker, all right, and this is why I love Steve talking about chess, all right, poker is a game of tremendous skill, folks. I think a lot of people that are listening to this program would understand that. If you're in the market, you're trading, you're looking for edges, you're looking for expected value, all this stuff. In the short term, though, poker's all luck. And the coolest part about poker, right, this is one thing you want to think about, all right? If you're playing poker out there, and let's say you think you're a good player. Some people know they're not a great player, and they just want to play and have fun. That's fun, too. Go play. Go bring $50. Go bring $80 down to the casino, okay? $100, even if it's you're getting out on a Saturday night. That's your fun money, all right? But here's what happens. In chess, there's no luck, okay? The best players win every time. There's no luck. You made that choice. Nothing is left to luck. In poker, there's a tremendous amount of luck. Okay, you get it in with pocket aces versus pocket kings in the very first hand of any tournament, you're going to lose 20% of the time. 1 out of 5 times, that guy's going to beat you. Why did he do it? Well, because it was a setup hand. Luck was involved. That's all it was. It was lucky for you to get aces versus kings, not the other way around. Then it was lucky for him to win with kings. But here's the kicker, right, in poker. And this is a good one in life as well, because it does kind of tie in. The only reason that poker is so popular is because bad players can win all the time in the short term, okay? And good players would never get to play anybody if it was all about skill. And somehow your expected value is always what paid out. So remember that the next time. If you're playing some poker, some guy's playing crazy, he gets to you. Poker wouldn't even exist if you didn't have to ride out the short-term lucks to get to the long-term. With that said, the short-term luck, folks, can take a tremendous amount of time to carry out on the long-term. And that can happen in the market sometimes. When you're talking about expected values for short-term, high-variance situations, tournament poker in particular, right? You finish 8th place, you make 4 times your money in a 197-person tournament. Meanwhile, you're going to lose 8 out of 9 times. That guy might have bought into that tournament twice as well. But yeah, $2.1 million, $50 pot limit Omaha, not bad. We got no movement in these markets right now. So we're talking a little bit of poker. Look at this range. We got a 10-point range. We haven't moved in 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we got less than 10 minutes left to go in trading. And look at that. As I speak, we're moving. Shame on me. How are we moving? Session highs, man. Check it out. crude with a 68 handle. S&P's up by 53. Make it 55. One more segment, folks. Don't go away. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. And markets are catching one more leg, man. We were coiling, and then, we got an extra pop. S&P's up by 60 points now. NASDAQ 100, just over the highs. We're up right now by 1.1%. Dow up 0.9%, and the Russell up by 1% as well. You jump back to the crude market, we're dropping again, right? I imagine we just got some more headlines there as you have crude dropping, 50, 60 cents. We have the S&P spiking, and I hope for a pause, but there is a potential here. And that's the tough part about a market right now that's teetering on a headline-driven geopolitical tension. But boy, that's finishing up. There you go. The bearish engulfing, and you check back in on the S&P, and you could do it. What was I saying? 6,093. What do we need? We need 18 points. We only got 5 minutes. It's going to be close. It's going to be close enough. That is a strong bar, man. We'll see if we get some strong volume on the close. I thought the volume might be a little bit more, but we kind of trailed off. So the volume. All right, look at this trail off in volume since about 1:30. But boom, then we got some volume, man. Thanks, Fletch. So Bahrain and Kuwait have opened their airspace. Well, there you go. All right, tensions ease just like that. We got peace, folks. I say it sarcastically, and I hope for it. Believe me. Nonetheless, market's positive, man. We jump over to Tesla shares. Let's take a look at some equities as we wrap up the hour. Tesla up by 8.3% right now. NVIDIA barely flat. You talk about some volatility. AMD shares up by 1%. These airlines catching a bid on that. Look at United up by 3.7% today. And United, American up by 2.7%. Delta shares up by 2.4%. Folks, thanks so much for spending your afternoon right here with me at TFNN. Have a great night. Have a safe night. I'll see you back here 9 o'clock in the morning for the morning market kickoff. Have a great one, folks.